Welcome. I call this regular monthly meeting of the Monument Planning Commission to order. Today's date is August 12th, 2026. Thanks for attending the meeting tonight. Before we begin, I'd like to state that the Planning Commission meetings are open to the public in person and via a Microsoft Teams streaming application. All Planning Commission meeting information can be found on the Town of Monument website. The Planning Commission's role is to conduct public hearings and to make recommendations for the Town Council regarding land use matters in the Town of Monument. Each commissioner agrees to a non-partial, objective, and fair review, which includes no prejudgment of the projects. Should a commissioner wish to disqualify him or herself for any conflicts of personal or financial interest in this matter before us tonight, please say so now. For those attending tonight who wish to provide comment on agenda items, you may speak to the commission during the public comment section of the agenda. Those who attend in person will be called upon first and are asked to come to the podium and sign in with your name and address. Those attending via Microsoft Teams will be called upon next and are asked to utilize the raise your hand option and to unmute your microphone when called upon. We ask that if multiple people have the same comment, only one person speak on that same subject. Again, thanks for attending tonight's meeting. We'll start with roll call.
Thank you. Chair Egley.
Here.
Vice Chair Peterson.
Here.
Commissioner Baumer.
Here.
Commissioner Hatch.
Here.
Commissioner Parr.
Here.
And Commissioner Trujillo.
Here.
Thank you. That concludes roll call.
Do we have one commissioner joining us remotely?
I don't see Miss Christy Smith online, so we'll mark her as absent.
Make sure.
Thank you.
All right. If you'll all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from last month's meeting of July 8th, 2026. Are there any adjustments to the minutes as shown? All right, then I go ahead and move that we approve the minutes from last meeting. Do we have a second?
Second to the meeting.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
Thank you. Chair Egley.
Yes.
Vice Chair Peterson.
Yes.
Commissioner Baumer. Commissioner Hatch.
Yes.
Commissioner Parr.
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 6 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you, Ray. And thank you to Jenna and Ray. I thought the recap of the minutes of the last meeting were pretty comprehensive and excellent encapsulation of everything we said. Thank you. The next item is new business. Do we have any new business to discuss other than our public hearings?
No public hearings, and we'll have announcements at the end of our meeting.
All right, we have two items for public hearing tonight. So we'll move to the first one, which is a request for approval of a major amendment to the planned unit development for Native Sun construction at 15010 Woodcarver Road. And Ray Medina will make the presentation.
Thank you, commissioners. Lovely to see you all here this evening. Great to be back. I know, every month. Here we go. So up first, we have the Native Sun construction major PUD amendment. So the applicant, Roz Heck, on behalf of Native Sun, representing Winston Jessup and overall Native Sun construction, is requesting approval of a major amendment to the previously approved Native Sun final planned unit development. The proposed amendment would relocate the shop building to a more northwesterly location, regrade Lot 1 to accommodate the revised site layout, install a deceleration lane along Woodcarver Road to improve site access and traffic flow, and lastly, reconfigure the construction yard to use an open circular pattern in place of the originally approved internal street network. These modifications are intended to improve operational efficiency while remaining consistent with the overall intent and development goals of the approved PUD. Pursuant to Chapter 18 of our Land Development Code, Section 1801-260D, public notice was conducted at least 15 days prior to the public hearing by mail and property posting. Mailed notices went out to the adjacent property owners within 500 feet of the property, and we've just screenshotted some evidence that shows that those notifications were met. So here we have some surrounding zoning, location, and land use. To the north is the UPS Center PUD. To the south is the Navsys Corporation located in light industrial zoning. To the east is the Eagle Rock Distribution PUD. To the west is currently vacant, is marked as El Paso County vacant agricultural land. Additionally, as part of our comprehensive plan, actually, no, there we go. So moving on to the project details, specifically utilities and access. Lot 1, a 7.21 acre parcel within the approved Native Son Construction PUD, is served by a network of existing utility and drainage easements that support ongoing development and site functionality. These include private drainage and utility easements recorded under separate instrument, as well as a 30-foot private utility easement, a 10-foot public utility easement, and a 20-foot drainage easement established with the original plat. Together, these easements provide the infrastructure framework necessary to accommodate existing and future development of the site. Access to the property is provided by Woodcarver Road, which is privately owned and maintained by Native Son. The Native Son plat designates Tract A as right-of-way for Woodcarver Road, while the roadway corridor itself remains platted within Lot 1 to support long-term site access and circulation. As part of the proposed PUD amendment and shop building expansion, a deceleration lane will be constructed along Woodcarver Road to improve traffic flow, enhance site access, and increase overall safety. These roadway improvements will be completed concurrently with the proposed development. Moving forward, some site improvements and operations. The proposed development consists of a new 6,117 square foot shop building with a height of just under 29 feet. The facility will serve as an equipment storage and repair building for Native Son Construction and will include a wash bay and dedicated mechanical equipment area to support daily business operations. The addition is designed to enhance the functionality of the site while remaining consistent with the overall character and intent of the approved PUD. The amendment also includes 4 additional employee parking spaces, meeting the parking requirements for Monument Municipal Code 1805-215. Storage activities on the property will continue as previously approved under the final PUD, with supplemental landscaping added to this new development amendment to help screen storage areas from views along Woodcarver Road. Existing security measures will remain in place, including the 6-foot chain link fence surrounding the storage area, with additional fencing proposed to enclose the entirety of Lot 1 and improve overall site security and organization. Moving on to landscaping, the landscape plan for the Native Son construction facility is designed to support the operational needs of an active construction yard while promoting water conservation and compatibility with the surrounding environment. The plan emphasizes the use of native, drought-tolerant plant materials to create a cohesive transition between the site and adjacent open spaces, while enhancing habitat value and minimizing long-term maintenance requirements. Landscaping along the property boundaries will provide visual screening through a combination of deciduous and evergreen trees with low to moderate water demands. These plantings are strategically located to soften views of the storage yard and improve the site's integration with the neighboring properties. Disturbed perimeter areas will be restored with a non-irrigated native seed mix, reducing water consumption while supporting sustainable vegetation and weed control. The plan includes preservation of 21 existing trees and the planting of 66 new trees. In addition, approximately 207,490 square feet of land will be seeded with a native restoration mix, creating a cohesive, low-water landscape. All new trees will be supported by an automated, weather-based irrigation system utilizing efficient stream bubblers to provide targeted watering during establishment. Architecture. The proposed Native Son construction shop building is designed in accordance with Town and Monument standards for pre-engineered metal buildings, as the structure is less than 20,000 square feet in size. And while the original Native Son construction PUD did not establish specific architectural design guidelines, the proposed building incorporates consistent architectural treatment on all elevations to create a cohesive and professional appearance. Attention has been given to building proportions, material transitions, and color coordination to ensure a balanced design from all viewpoints. The building features vertical metal siding and galvanized metal roofing, creating a clean and durable industrial character appropriate for its intended use. Horizontal trim elements provide visual articulation and break up large wall surfaces, while a unified color palette reinforces the overall design aesthetic. All doors and trims are finished in a burnished slate, complementing the metal wall panels and providing a consistent visual theme throughout the structure. The overall architectural design emphasizes durability, functionality, and high-quality materials, resulting in an attractive facility that is compatible with the surrounding area and operational needs of the site. Parking and snow storage. The proposed shop building is not anticipated to generate a significant increase in employees at the Native Son construction site. Under Town of Monument parking standards, industrial users are required to provide parking based on employee count. The addition of 4 new parking spaces will satisfy this code requirement and provide adequate parking capacity to support current and future operations of Lot 1 while maintaining compliance with town regulation. Snow storage requirements for the development have also been met. Based on approximately 32,000 square feet of parking, driveway, walkway, and loading areas, the site is required to provide approximately 10,667 square feet of designed snow storage. While a total site area of more than 314,000 square feet, Lot 1 has sufficient space to accommodate the required snow storage within the existing on-site storage areas. As a result, no additional land redesign or site modifications are needed to meet snow storage standards. Moving to traffic analysis in our final drainage report. A traffic generation analysis prepared by SM Roca LLC, January of 2025, evaluated the transportation impacts associated with the proposed 6,117 square foot shop building at the Native Son construction facility. Based on the Institute of Transportation Engineers trip generation rates, the study estimates that the development will generate approximately 155 vehicle trips per day, including 22 trips during the morning peak hours and 21 trips during the afternoon peak hours. The analysis determined that the projected traffic volumes are relatively low and will not adversely affect operations on Woodcarver Road or surrounding intersections. Site traffic is expected to utilize the existing full movement access points along Woodcarver Road, with most vehicle movements occurring to and from the north. Based on the study findings, the proposed development is not anticipated to have a significant impact on the surrounding roadway network and can be accommodated by the existing transportation infrastructure. The final drainage report, prepared by Raptor Civil Engineering in March of 2026, evaluated the stormwater management approach for the proposed development and found that the project meets and in some areas exceeds the requirements of El Paso County Drainage Criteria Manual that the town also formally uses. The analysis confirms that the development has been designed to effectively manage stormwater runoff while protecting downstream properties and existing drainage infrastructure. The proposed improvements will provide water quality treatment for approximately 85% of the site, with only limited areas remaining untreated due to existing off-site drainage patterns and site grading constraints. Runoff from all newly developed areas that discharge to the existing detention pond will receive full treatment through the previously approved and constructed stormwater facility, which has sufficient capacity to serve the development. The report concludes that the project complies with the Town of Monument drainage requirements and regional stormwater design standards, and that the proposed improvements will not create adverse impacts to the surrounding properties. Town engineering staff have reviewed the analysis and concur with the report's findings. Moving on to our criteria for review. Part of PUD Amendment Section 1803470 in Monument Municipal Code. Review, consideration, and recommendation of each application is based off of those criteria. Pursuant to the section I just mentioned, all amendments to a PUD which do not qualify as a minor amendment are considered major amendments and are subject to public hearing and public notice requirements. Staff have evaluated the submitted application against these minor amendment criteria, which includes elements such as density, building location, setbacks, lot sizes, or street alignments. Staff evaluation determined that the request cannot be categorized as a minor amendment, and as such, the proposal is a major amendment for review by Planning Commission and considered by Town Council. Namely, criteria points number 4, 13, and 16 are applicable. 4 being building location. The changes, modifications, or adjustments shall not impact more than 20% of any building footprint. The proposed shop building does not constitute a minor modification to an existing building footprint. Instead, it introduces a new building footprint and alters the approved building layout on the property. The building location standards limits modifications to impacts affecting no more than 20% of the building footprint. Therefore, the addition of an entirely new structure exceeds the scope of allowable adjustments and is therefore inconsistent with that criteria. All right, 13, finished grade and drainage system. Changes to the proposed finished grading affecting less than 10% of the site and not resulting in significant changes to the site drainage system are allowed. The proposed development includes grading that exceeds the allowable 10% threshold for administrative approval. Based on the submitted plans, the total grading impact is estimated to be about 15%. Point 16, architectural features and treatments. The director shall have the authority to determine if the minor amendment is in keeping with the intent and overall design of the approved PUD, and it does not change approved development standards. Minor amendment requests can include, but are not limited to, changes in color, materials, and architectural treatments. The amendment alters the overall design of the approved PUD, introducing a new building, associated parking, and related site improvements on Lot 1. After reviewing the Native Sun Construction PUD amendment, the following finding of fact has been made. The request has met the applicable criteria identified in Section 1803-470 PUD Amendment of the Land Development Code. In conclusion, staff has provided a suggested motion for the PUD amendment application. The motion being to recommend approval or denial of the Native Sun Construction PUD amendment for a property located at 15010 Woodcarver Road, bearing parcel number 713-500-6001, as supported by the reference documents and finding of fact listed in the staff report. This concludes my presentation, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you, Ray. Does the applicant have a presentation they want to share with us tonight?
No, the applicant does not. We do have the applicant available online to answer any questions.
Okay. All right, this is a public hearing, so we'll go ahead and open up that portion of the hearing to anyone in the room who'd like to speak to this particular subject. Please come on up to the podium. Seeing no one in the room, Ray, is there anyone online that has their hand raised?
At this time, I don't see anyone online with their hands raised.
All right, we'll close the public portion of the hearing and move on to questions and comments from members of the Planning Commission. Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes, sir. Quick couple of few questions here. First off, last year the project was downsized because of water service capacity. Is there now definitive confirmation that the current 6,117 square foot proposal is fully supportable by the existing water system?
That is correct. Our town engineer reviewed that criteria based off of what was proposed and worked with the applicant to downsize the facility to the point where it would meet that criteria.
Perfect. Great. Thank you, Ray. Number 2, Woodcarver Road is privately owned and maintained. Who is legally responsible for maintaining the new declaration lane or deceleration lane over the long term?
Native Sun Construction.
Say that again.
The applicant would be responsible, Native Sun.
So it will not be Tri-Lakes, won't be anything associated with the town of Monument and taking care of that. Is that correct?
That is my understanding, yes.
So you're stating that it will be the Native Sun that will be taking care of that.
In terms of maintenance, that's correct.
Perfect. Thank you. Next one. What will be stored outdoors? And will that landscaping and fencing adequately screen the highest equipment and materials from Woodcarver Road?
I can't speak to the exact storage materials. The site itself was originally approved as a larger scale storage yard for equipment and moving of dirt and materials for the business. In terms of screening for Woodcarver Road, they're proposing a lot more landscaping along that main corridor onto the property, as well as fencing.
Is the applicant online that he can possibly let us know what that would be?
Sure. Mr. Roz Heck, if you'd like to unmute your microphone to answer the question, you have the ability to.
Hey, Ray, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So I'm the applicant. This is Ross Heck with F9 Productions. I'm the architect for the project. Is anyone from the Native Sun team there, whether that's Ephraim or Ernest?
Yes, I believe we have someone in the room.
Okay, because they'd be able to speak better than I can as to what materials are being stored there. Let me know if they're able to speak on that. Otherwise, I can give a gist of my understanding.
Understood. Thank you.
Howdy, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm Ephraim Jessup, one of the owners of Native Sun. The highest materials or equipment would be an excavator. And that will all be stored against the south edge of the property.
Okay.
So not only will the fence be tall enough to screen from that, but again, we added a lot of trees along Wood Carver Road to eventually grow 40 to 50 feet tall, completely screen it off so that it blends in with the forest behind.
Perfect. No, thank you very much.
You
Yeah,
bet.
that's exactly what we needed. And last one, the drainage report treats about 85.3% of the project area. Please explain why the remaining untreated portions cannot be reasonably captured and confirm there is no downstream impact.
Sure. I'm going based off of the town engineer's overall breakdown of the drainage report provided by the applicant and their engineers. And I believe they're going to also address the question.
Great, thank you.
Property has a wetland and existing trees. That's all being left alone undisturbed. So I think that's why the 85% number is there.
Correct. Yep. No, and that's why I just want to make sure everybody understood exactly how that was laid out.
Yep.
That's all the questions I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Peterson.
That I think that answered a couple of my questions too. The only additional one I had was wash bay item is there an interceptor that's collecting chemicals, all that before discharges, or how's that discharging?
Yes, it's more, it doesn't drain into the storm system. It drains into a catch basin, which is then disposed of. Nothing goes into the sewer or the storm water system.
Okay, so it's collected,
Correct.
isolated.
Right. In a, I forget what it's called exactly, but it's a catch basin. And then it'll be cleaned out every 6 months, vac trucked, hauled off to a facility.
Okay, great. Question, thank you.
Commissioner Parr.
Yeah, continuing on with that, same question. So the catch basin, the sediment settled to the bottom of it and then the water drains out through the storm. Is that correct? Okay, that's all I had.
Commissioner Bomber.
I may have missed this, but what did you say the max height of your excavator was that was being stored outside? Over 15?
It's about 15 feet with the boom up. So, and again, the intent is all the equipment is stored along the backside, the south side, which is far away from the fence, far away from Wood Carver Road, with the front of the property being left open for moving in and out and driving around the property.
Commissioner Hatch.
All my questions have been answered.
Great. I had really only one question concern after all the other questions. It's regarding Wood Carver Road. What improvements will you be making to the road itself? And is that starting at the intersection of Squadron Drive?
That's right. So part of the agreement from the previous PUD amendment was that when our project is complete and we're done beating up the road, building the thing, then we would fix all the potholes, do crack sealing on the existing asphalt, and then overlay it with a 2-inch layer of new asphalt. So we'll pretty much get a new road from 200 feet south of Squadron. We donated 200 feet. We actually own north of Squadron originally, but we donated that to the town to make the Squadron intersection all work into Wood Carver Road. So our property line is 200 feet south of that intersection, and the new asphalt goes right to our property line. We'll tie on to that new asphalt that was placed 4 or 5 years ago, or maybe less, and go down to the NAFSIS parking lot.
Okay, and then will you be adding a curb and gutter for the entire?
No, just in front of our shop area for the deceleration lane.
So the existing curb and gutter that terminates at Squadron Drive and Wood Carver, there won't be any curb and gutter from that point up to the point of your yard?
That's right. Yep.
All right, that's all I had right
Yeah.
now. Any other questions or comments from the commission? Before we entertain a motion, is there any discussion from the commission regarding any conditions that they want to place or any other further discussions about the findings of fact and whether or not we agree with that, the impact on the community as a whole. Just general questions. I'd rather have that versus just moving right to a motion to either accept or deny. Yes.
So I wasn't here for your initial PUD approval or development. My understanding is you're just taking the existing building you were going to build, you're moving it to a more northwesterly status, but you're also increasing the building. Is the design changed at all other than just the increase in space and size? So it's the same materials?
Yeah, that's right. And we had some small office buildings in the original shop. We took those out and reduced it to just a break room. So that the actual building footprint didn't change. The overall outside dimensions, just we have more space inside that's dedicated to shop use.
I had a question for staff regarding the road itself and the improvements that they'll be making to it and whether or not our code would call for, I don't want to make this sound like a small item, but curb and gutter for the entire length of that so that there's some improvement there, both for stormwater control and erosion, that type of thing. So I'm just wondering what staff's opinion is of that.
No, 1 second, sorry.
Sure. I'm unfamiliar with anything in the code that would require that additional curb and gutter outside of the frontage of their project area. I would have leaned on our engineers to identify that as a need if it was required. We can follow up with some more information after the meeting for you to clarify. I don't necessarily believe that I have the most explicit answer for you at this time.
Yeah, I guess, and that this just goes to the commission in general. This is obviously a road that's going to be privately maintained, but it's still within the town of Monument. And is it a road that we want to have without any additional conveyance of stormwater and that type of thing? That's what I'm concerned about. And if you don't agree, that's okay. I just wanted to have that conversation.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to add, sometimes roadside ditch can be preferred in some circumstances from a standpoint of treatment. It allows infiltration, allows impervious area to drain toward a pervious area. So sometimes it may be preferred to have that roadside ditch over curb and gutter, especially if it's in kind of an isolated area where, you know, if we're at a kind of a dead end section of a development or roadway, you know, the conveyance via roadside ditch can be preferred.
Okay,
In my opinion.
I appreciate that.
Sure. We did look at adding the curb, but just like he mentioned, there is no existing storm infrastructure to tie to besides the bar ditches on either side of the road. Also written into the agreement for us to maintain the road. If we ever want to improve the property where a traffic study exceeds what is there, what the road can handle, we would then be required to upgrade it to a commercial collector or whatever the traffic study would suggest. So.
All right, thank you. I'm satisfied with that. Okay. All right, I'll go ahead and if there's no other further comments, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion. You throw the motion back up on the screen.
Yes, sorry, 1 second.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hatch. I make a motion recommending approval of the Native Sun Construction PUD, excuse me, amendment for the property located at 15010 Wood Carver Road, bearing parcel number 713500601, as supported by the referenced documents and the findings of facts listed in the staff report.
We have a second?
Commissioner Peterson, I make a motion for a second.
All right.
Second motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
Thank you, Chair Egley,
Yes.
Vice Chair Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Baumer. Thank you, Commissioner Hatch,
Yes.
Commissioner Parr,
Yes.
Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 6 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you. All right, the second item for public hearing tonight is a request for the approval of the final planned unit development plan for the Seven Brew drive-through coffee. Again, we'll turn to Ray Medina.
Monday, you got me twice. As mentioned, so I'm going to be discussing the Seven Brew Coffee final PUD plan. As an introduction, the applicant is requesting approval of a final planned unit development for a proposed Seven Brew Coffee drive-through located on a vacant 0.9 acre parcel within the Monument Marketplace located at 15822 Jackson Creek Parkway. The project includes a 510 square foot drive-through coffee shop and associated site improvements and is proposed in accordance with the existing Monument Marketplace PUD. Staff have reviewed the application for compliance with the town's land development code, comprehensive plan, and applicable engineering, traffic, and drainage requirements. Once again, pursuant to Chapter 18 of our Land Development Code, Section 1801-260D, public notice was conducted at least 15 days prior to the public hearing by mail and property posting. Mailed notices went out to adjacent property owners within 500 feet of the property, and we just have evidence that shows such. So some additional surrounding zoning, location, and land use. The subject property is located along Jackson Creek Parkway as part of the existing Monument Marketplace PUD. Surrounding properties include PUD zoning to the north, south, and west, and the property is bound by the Jackson Creek Parkway corridor on the east. To the north is the Wells Fargo Bank, part of the Monument Marketplace. To the south is Freddy's Steakburgers, part of the Monument Marketplace. To the east, across Jackson Creek Parkway, is Advanced Auto Parts, and to the west is Kohl's Department Store located within the Monument Marketplace. Some project detail. The proposed Seven Brew Coffee development consists of a 510 square foot drive-through coffee shop on a vacant 0.9 acre parcel within the Monument Marketplace. The project includes dual drive-through ordering lanes, parking, utility connections, drainage improvements, pedestrian facilities, landscaping, and a trash enclosure. Water and sanitary sewer service will be provided by the Triview Metropolitan District, and the development utilizes existing infrastructure and access systems already serving the Monument Marketplace Commercial Center. Staff found the proposal to be consistent with the approved Monument Marketplace PUD and applicable development standards. Site circulation and snow storage. Site access will be provided through the existing Monument Marketplace private drive network, including shared circulation with the adjacent Freddy's Steakburger restaurant. The development includes 2 drive-through ordering lanes and a bypass lane with stacking capacity exceeding the town's requirement to ensure vehicles remain on site and do not impact surrounding roadways. The site also exceeds snow storage requirements, providing approximately 12,635 square feet of landscaped area available for snow storage compared to the 8,690 square foot requirement by code. Architecture. The proposed building is a 1-story drive-through coffee shop with a height of just under 20 feet. The design incorporates quality building materials, architectural articulation, and complementary site improvements that create visual interest while remaining compatible with surrounding commercial development. Service areas and mechanical equipment are screened to reduce visual impacts, and the overall design is consistent with the intent of the Monument Marketplace PUD and the town's commercial designs. Here is just an additional photograph to show you more of what the exterior elevation to the north will eventually be proposed to look at or to look as. Landscaping. The landscape plan provides approximately 12,635 square feet of landscaped area, representing roughly 33% of the site. Improvements include foundation plantings, perimeter landscaping, enhanced entry features, native grasses, ornamental plantings, and screening around the trash enclosure and mechanical equipment. The plan includes 23 trees and approximately 334 shrubs, grasses, and ground cover plantings selected from the town's approved plant list. The landscaping is intended to soften views of pavement, enhance the site's visual character, and support water conservation and complement the surrounding commercial corridor. Moving to the traffic analysis and final drainage report again. The traffic compliance memo determined that the proposed Severn Brew Coffee is expected to generate approximately 358 daily trips, including 80 a.m. peak hour trips and 30 p.m. peak hour trips. Traffic impacts are lower than the previously approved fast food use contemplated for the original site and development for the PUD, resulting in approximately 1,031 fewer daily trips than the original development assumptions. The analysis concluded that the existing Monument Marketplace roadway network, site access configuration, and nearby intersections have adequate capacity to accommodate the proposed development, and the drive-through queue is expected to remain fully contained on site. The final drainage report found that the project will maintain existing drainage patterns and safely convey stormwater through a combination of proposed and existing storm sewer infrastructure. Runoff will be directed to the existing regional detention and water quality control pond, currently serving the Monument Marketplace, which was previously designed for a more intensive development scenario. Hydraulic modeling demonstrated that the stormwater system has sufficient capacity during both minor and major storm events, and the town engineers concurred that the development complies with the town's drainage standards and is not expected to create adverse downstream impacts. A review of the traffic memorandum and final drainage report were completed by our town engineer, IMEG. An approval letter from IMEG is included with the staff report and attached documentation. So here is a list of the criteria for review for a final PUD plan. It's part of 1803 460. That's the whole list of what all PUDs should be complying with in terms of our land development code. And lastly, staff has provided a suggested motion for the final PUD application. A motion to recommend approval or denial of the Severn Brew Coffee final PUD for the property located at 15822 Jackson Creek Parkway, bearing parcel number 71253060007, supported by the reference document and finding of facts listed in the staff report. This concludes my presentation, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you, Ray. Is anyone representing the applicant available this evening for presentation or questions?
I'm Austin Dozier. I'm the COO of Sussex Group. So we are the franchisee for Severn Brew. And then we have Tate, who is our engineer and the applicant for this one.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Since this is a public hearing, we'll open it up to public comment. Anyone in the room who'd like to make a comment regarding this project, please come on up to the podium, state your name and sign in with your address as well. Seeing no one in the room, we'll go to those online. Ray, is anyone online?
We do have one person online, but if they would like to speak, they can raise their hand. For now, I believe that they are settled and we can just move forward.
Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing portion and move to questions and comments from the commission. Commissioner Trio.
Thank you, sir. Come on up. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions. So if you want to come on up here, please, that'd be great. First one I'm going to ask you is, at peak morning demand, what is the operational plan if both drive-through lanes reach an engineered stack capacity? How is spillback into that shared drive aisle prevented?
I mean, the PUD did find, or the analysis did find that we had excess stacking. So we believe we have enough stacking on the site that won't be a problem. If it ever does become a problem, there is the bypass lane that can be utilized for excess cars to get out of the site and not cause problems back into that shared drive.
And that, but it's already mitigated. You're already looking at that just in case it does happen and how to control that. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that pass-through lane is designed so that they can get cars out without having to wait for the car in front of it, right?
Perfect. Okay, no, thank you. Within the pedestrian route through the site is, when we're looking at it, every point where pedestrians cross, is there a bypass lane or is there something to prevent, somebody a blind spot or anything for those pedestrians walking through those areas?
Pedestrians should not need to cross the drive-through lane. It's designed so that we have a pedestrian could cross, across the exit, but there's ramps there for them to do those and a stop sign. Other than that, it connects to the sidewalk that we're proposing along that private drive.
Okay.
And the cars, so like we have an ADA spot with a access ramp that would allow people to get to and from the building without having to cross those access aisles.
Okay, great, thank you. Next one, has the shared access configuration with the adjacent Freddy's property management been formally coordinated and documented?
We have the PUD agreement document that does allow for access for all users within that monument marketplace across sites.
Perfect. How will designated snow storage be managed so that the piled snow does not block visibility, damage landscaping, or interfere with pedestrian access?
That is a great operational question. It would be pushed into the landscape areas adjacent to those drives to the best of its ability.
Okay, perfect. Nope, like what you're asked, like what you're answering. Definitely. Last one. With 6 total parking spaces, how many employees are expected at peak staffing? And how is employee parking handled during the busiest periods?
Yes, so at our peak hours, we'd have about 10 employees maximum working in the stand at once. I also, on the call, we have Thomas Esposito, who is CEO and owner, and if he has a better answer, I'll let him answer it.
Yeah, so I would say we have anywhere between 7 and 10 employees in a busy shift. But on a busy shift, we would hope to have multiple of our employees either carpool or figure out another means of transportation. But that's only on, the busiest shifts of the week.
Sure. And I just want to make sure that with the understanding when those busiest shifts are happening, that the plan is mitigated, obviously on your behalf as the business.
Yeah.
But doesn't
Yeah.
occur on the city or the forces that we have to manage this expectation going forward. So
Yeah, of course, we would definitely take that on.
Okay.
And we have that on. So we have another site open down in Colorado Springs, and we have the same issue on busier shifts, and it has not been a issue thus far.
Great. Thank you very much. That's all.
Yeah,
I
of
have.
course. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go to Commissioner Peterson, could you state your full name for
Oh,
us?
yes.
I'm sorry.
My name is Ashton Landrum. I'm with Tate and Associates.
Thank you. Commissioner Peterson.
I think the only additional question I had outside of Rios is there any monument signage proposed along Jackson Creek Parkway?
There is a monument sign proposed. It will follow closely the Freddy's that's adjacent to us.
That's all I had right now.
Commissioner Parr.
Yes, going back to the snow storage, if you're dumping a lot of snow on top of all your landscaping, it seems to me like that's going to destroy all the landscaping by the time the winter's over. And then you won't have any landscaping around the building.
That is a good point. We could look at having a conversation with the Monument Marketplace about snow storage for the overall development. There should be additional areas back behind some of like the adjacent coals and stuff that could possibly take on our snow if needed.
Yeah, I think you need to do that because there is a lot of room back there. I think the snow could be pushed, but I don't think you want to push it on your landscaping. I wouldn't want to do it. But that's all I have.
Okay. Commissioner Balmer.
I noticed that you have stop signs in your drive-through lanes. The pass-through lane does not have a stop sign. I've seen other fast food restaurants around Colorado Springs where all three have a stop sign because obviously you don't want to just start whipping through. I would like to make a consideration possibly to add just a simple stop sign in the pass-through lane, just for safety.
And is that where that pass-through lane kind of,
It's-
comes together with the other two lanes? Some sort of signage there to prevent a collision?
They've set up, right? They've got
Yeah.
their two drive-throughs and then they have a pass-through and there's stop signs because obviously you're concerned for the safety. You want to avoid wrecks but was that a thought or is that a consideration that you might entertain?
I don't believe it's part of the Seven Brew prototype, but I don't think it would be a problem to add one or.
Yeah, I think we could operationally, we could look into it. I think the intent of the pass-through lane is really, we would like people to be in the two operational lanes. And since we are the walk-up or for the drive-through, is that drinks can sometimes, if there's a big order in the front, you have someone in the back and they have a small order, then they're able to just use it. So it's not really encouraged going out and around, but we can absolutely look at that.
We live around here, we go over there, we frequent it a lot. There's massive potholes. People are not maintaining properties. So am I to assume that you guys are gonna maintain the parking lot that cracks, the seals, the potholes that are going to happen when you build this? It's gonna happen.
Yes.
So, okay. What about leading up into your development, your property?
Maintenance for common access is on Monument Marketplace for us.
Monument?
Yeah.
And the employee parking, there's a mitigation measure across the street, obviously. But this goes back to the snow storage. I had the same concern because you have a lot of landscaping, but nowhere to put the snow, and it's gonna snow and you're gonna have to store it somewhere. I'm wondering if it might be a consideration to relook at that, to add for snow storage and possibly a few extra parking spots for your employees. But that's my only concern. That's my only statements.
Thank you. Commissioner Hatch.
So you're a drive-through and walk-up window only, no dine-in area.
That is correct.
And can you give me a general idea of how many cars can be held in the dual drive-through? Rough idea?
A rough idea, I would probably guess about 30.
And so during your peak time of 80, you're going to turn that over about 3 times. Okay. All right. The other question, I agree, the parking. This is part of the bigger community. Could you work with them? There's parking across the street. There's parking at Freddy's, at the bank. Is there a way that you could work with them so that you still have spots freed up for customers besides just employees?
I believe so, yes. And I believe there are provisions within the Monument Marketplace PUD agreement that does allow for cars to park at locations that are their destination.
Yeah. And
Commissioner, if I may just add another piece, with the design and intent of the building itself, there is no intention for them to be serving customers inside. I mean, it's fully expected to be all the drive-through. So although, the parking spaces would be great if someone could use it in case of an emergency or something like that, I don't expect them to be able to walk into the establishment to order.
I have no further questions.
Okay, thank you. I had a couple of questions. You mentioned a sidewalk, a common sidewalk between you and your the business to the south of you, Freddy's. You're going to be constructing a sidewalk there, is that correct?
No, there'll be a sidewalk in between the drive-through lane and the parking stalls.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Mhm.
And you'll also be constructing a sidewalk along Blevins Buckle Trail on the west side of the property?
Yes, so we will be connecting basically the Wells Fargo to the Freddy's across our site.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And have you had any serious discussions with Monument Marketplace on the upkeep and maintenance of the common road there, Blevins Buckle Trail and other portions? You're adding 350 trips per day. And that's just for your property. I know that there's going to be additional improvements that'll be required once the additional shopping center is built just south of there as well. So I'm just wondering what kind of conversations you may have had with them already.
If there's any conversations held.
Right.
I'll speak to that point. Thank you, Chair. As part of the preliminary PUD for the Monument Marketplace, there is a tie-in for maintenance and who's going to be maintaining the connected overall property. But in terms of the conversation of who's not maintaining it right now, I think that's more of a conversation for town staff to reach out to the Monument Marketplace to explain to them what their requirements should be and they're not meeting them, rather than that being on the applicant for this new site.
I appreciate that. And there isn't any access off of Jackson Creek Parkway via a sidewalk down into your property or into the Freddy's?
Correct. There's pretty significant grade differential between
Right.
Jackson Creek Parkway and where our site is.
Okay. The only thing that I didn't see in the drawings was I didn't see a exterior elevation view of the south facing elevation. I see a drawing for the north, for the west and the east, but I don't see anything for the south. I didn't know if maybe I missed that.
It's possible I've neglected to include it, but there was an elevation for it. I apologize.
Okay. That's all I had for right now. Yes, Commissioner.
One thing, what are your business hours for 7
We're 5 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. and then on the weekends it goes until 11 p.m.
I missed it. I didn't see anything about exterior lighting or that in here at all. Is that included in lighting?
Photometrics were submitted as part of the overall PUD plan. My apologies for not having it as part of the staff report, but site does comply with photometrics as part of our town standards. My apologies, yes.
If I may ask a question, just because is the Seven Brews look here, will it mimic the one I've seen in Colorado Springs as far as lighting and that design? Are you familiar?
As far as the lighting, as far as I'm concerned, it is. I believe we have just exterior skin changes to fit with the Monument Marketplace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Again, I'll just bring it back to the commission before we entertain a motion for additional comments to determine if this has met all of the standards of the findings of fact, if you agree with that, or if there's any disagreement, or if there's any conditions that you want to place upon it, whether that be a condition for some type of a traffic control on the pass-through lane, something like that. But I just wanted to have that open discussion with the commission before we entertain a motion.
I would like the condition to add that stop sign in that pass-through lane, just for safety purposes.
Okay. Comments from other commissioners?
Maybe at the end of the pass-through lane,
Yes.
where it blends in.
Got it.
Mhm.
So it mimics the two drive-through lanes with the stop signs that they have there at that point.
Or for caution merge or
Got it.
yield or something.
Okay. Any other comments?
Just trying to see how it lays out because, I mean, even putting another sign there they're gonna go in, they're gonna grab coffee, they're gonna come back out, but that roadway, you have a stop sign to the north of it, and then you also have one to the south as people are coming to the north and turning left into Home Depot. So I'm just trying to see, I mean, I would be adequate with just putting stop on the ground instead of throwing another sign up.
Yeah, just.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would, you know, I wouldn't want to put more structure up inside that lot. I'd say put us, you know, write a big stop on the ground. Clearly, they should understand that. But I wouldn't want to incur more cost associated with it for the applicant. I guess that'd be the best way to say it.
What are your thoughts, Commissioner?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, just something to yield.
Sure.
Yield, stop something again, because it's not going to be enforceable because it's public vehicular area and it's your private property. It's more just as a deterrence measure to keep, you know, crazy drivers at 5 a.m. who have not drank their coffee yet, just legally merging into other cars. So.
Well, I see the applicant is nodding their head, so yeah, I think we can attach that as a condition for the approval. Any other discussion, any other conditions, any other questions regarding the project? All right, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, if I may interrupt for you. I just, to kind of bring it full circle, I heard one other strong concern about the snow storage. Were your comments and concerns just to highlight to the applicant that it will be a further conversation at town council, or would you have any interests on due diligence for the applicant there or condition, just to bring that back?
That's a great question. Commissioner Parr, Tree Hill.
Yeah, I'm not, you know, just being fairly new to this, I'm not sure how that works, but maybe we should have some kind of agreement with the marketplace people that they can store their snow somewhere else and not dump it on your landscaping.
It could even potentially just be evidence of an agreement or evidence of that coordination with that entity that would like to be presented in the package for town council.
Yeah, and I would also, with Commissioner Parr, I would definitely have the conversation with the Monument Marketplace identifying, one, is PIF installed? Obviously for that property improvement tax, not taxation, but that individual cost that is incurred by the actual applicant. Is that also remediation associated with snow removal? But I think those type of entities need to be addressed, obviously with town council, to see how that's being taken care of, simply because of the continued problems that are inside the Monument Marketplace, just like Commissioner Bauer had mentioned, the individual potholes, the weeds, everything else that's in there, that I think that would clear up that mud going forward.
Sure, I may mirror Mr. Medina's comments in regards to the PUD, the original preliminary PUD should identify the maintenance responsibilities on that document. I think internally as staff, we can certainly look into that and respond to that interest for that concern. Are you interested in having this applicant follow through on that, or staff directive?
No, I would definitely
Okay.
have staff, you know, at least address that, you know, and potentially in all individual areas that are coming up like that. You know, what are their clear understandings associated with maintenance? So that way these are not trivial questions that we're trying to pull or extrapolate information from the applicant that town council can clearly articulate and guide us going forward.
Certainly, we'll do some due diligence there and get a response for you.
Thanks, Jenna. All right, we'll go ahead and go ahead and entertain a motion with condition.
Yeah, I make a motion to recommend approval with conditions for Seven Brew Coffee final PUD for property located at 15822 Jackson Creek Parkway, bearing parcel number 712-530-6007, supported by the reference documents and the finding of facts listed in the staff report, specifically 1, 2, 6, 7, and 9. The condition being that on that pass-through lane to meet up with the other stop lanes, that a stop or yield be painted or erected at your discretion to ensure further safety for your customers. Do I have a second?
A second?
Commissioner Peterson, I second the motion.
All right, we have a motion with conditions and a second. Ray?
Thank you, Chair Egley,
Yes.
Vice Chair Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Baumer, Commissioner Hatch,
Yes.
Commissioner Parr,
Yes.
and Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 6 in favor, none opposed.
Thank you, Ray. On the original agenda, we had a third item. However, that is actually an item for the Board of Adjustment, which we also serve as. And we will take up that matter in just a few moments for those in the room that or online that are watching. We'll continue with a bit of business for the Planning Commission. Then we will adjourn the Planning Commission meeting and call to order the meeting of the Board of Adjustment and take up that issue. So we'll move on to the next item, reports, communications, and announcements. Anyone from the Planning Commission have any reports, announcements that they want to share? Okay, staff?
Sure, thank you. There are a couple highlights for us. I know at our last meeting, we briefly spoke about Veterans Day in November. We didn't have a full commission at that time, and we're fully staffed, less Christy today. So I think it may be beneficial if we officially choose an alternate date for that meeting. We had spoke about potentially moving that to the Thursday of that week and still holding that meeting because we do only have one meeting a month that may be challenging for an applicant to push back yet additional month. So if you would like to move forward a motion to officially change the date of our November 11th meeting date to November 12th, that Thursday instead, or other suggestions.
Any,
Would someone like to make a motion and a vote?
2026 from November 11th to November 12th.
Thank you.
We have a second?
Commissioner Trujillo, I second.
Sorry about that. Chair Egley,
Yes.
Vice Chair Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Baumer, Commissioner Hatch,
Yes.
Commissioner Parr,
Yes.
and Commissioner Trujillo.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 6 in favor, none opposed.
Anything?
Yes, I do also just want to highlight, as you know, we are rolling through the Monument 2040 Comprehensive Plan, and I just wanted to highlight a few upcoming dates for you. September 9th, we have a Planning Commission meeting on that Wednesday, and the schedule currently calls for a public open house for our comprehensive plan during the day. The time of that, of course, will be confirmed a little bit later. We also do have our Planning Commission meeting that evening, and the hope is that we will be providing the Monument 24 presentation for recommendation and approval that evening. So, of course, the question following is when will you have that in your hands? And the intent of our director is to have that available both online and in emails for each of you by September 20, excuse me, by the 24th of the month previous. Thank you. So that is our Monument 2040 update. Everything's coming together there pretty quickly. And my second to final thought is I wondered what the temperature and interest is. Currently, our code limits land development cases for town council to be heard, obviously, to keep the evening not running until 1 o'clock. And I wondered if there was any interest in the commission in amending your bylaws to mirror what is shown for town council. And while, at least in my tenure here so far, I haven't seen a bottleneck of applicants, but it could potentially assist in the future if that could potentially happen. I wondered if there was an interest in mirroring what town council allows. And I could take a closer look at exactly what that language is and present it next month. But I wondered what the interest there was. I don't know in your past if you've had real issue there with applicants bottlenecking between here and the town council, but a consideration.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I think that it would be logical to mirror that we wouldn't want to put more in the pipe than what could come out at the other end. So it just makes sense to me, but I don't know. I think we're in agreement as a commission that we should change that, our bylaws, if we can, to mirror that of the town council.
Great, I'll bring that forward next month. And our last item, I have not yet met this gentleman in person, but we do have an applicant for our alternate, for our planning commission alternate. So we have a full cast of characters now for our commission. Christy is a little under the weather, so she's not with us this evening, but we have Daniel Tucker as our alternate applicant, and I believe, is he in the room this evening? Yes, fantastic. Daniel, would you like to come up to the podium and introduce yourself to our commission?
Need to sign this.
No, I don't think you do.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dan Tucker. I live here in Monument and have resided within the town of Monument for nearly 10 years, beginning in January 2017, with my wife and 3 children, who all attend Monument Academy, which started today. So I've got a 6th grader out at MA East and 2 elementary schoolers at MA West. I am a licensed professional engineer in the state of Colorado. My full-time professional duties are with Colorado Springs Utilities as a water rights planner and engineer and water resource engineer, and what we call our Arkansas Valley Water Sharing Program, which concerns our water development activities and water rights cases in the lower Arkansas Valley between Pueblo and John Martin Reservoir, really. But trying to find ways of collaborating with agricultural producers in Southeast Colorado on collaborative water sharing programs and ideas in which both the city of Colorado Springs and ag producers can benefit. So my wife had made me aware of the openings with the Planning Commission, and as somebody who's interested in citizen participation, civic duty and involvement and land use and land planning decisions, generally speaking, and within our jurisdiction here, it was something I was interested in pursuing. So I applied for it, and I'm glad to be here. Forward to seeing you all again soon as an alternate. And I'm willing to take any questions from you. Anything you want to ask or.
No, I just hope you, what you heard and saw tonight hasn't caused any hesitancy moving forward. So
No.
Look forward to having you as an alternate.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
I have nothing additional, thanks.
I'll go ahead and move that we adjourn tonight's meeting of the Planning Commission. All in favor, say aye. We're now adjourned as the Planning Commission.